I continue to watch the mainstream media simply coalesce into a framework, a narrative of normalizing Donald Trump, making it seem like he's just another president. And, well, he's doing his thing. Biden did his thing his way. Trump is doing his thing his way. Well, Trump is not just another president. Trump is a crook, a convicted felon. And based on how he's building his administration, he's building an administration that is not only fascist, but one that will be taking retributions on those who oppose him by all means necessary. And it's showing. And unless this is exposed continuously in many different forms, it will continue. Earlier, I did some pieces on how the media is letting him slide. Well, a few days ago, Stephanie Ruhle said one thing. Her contribution to holding that admin accountable will be following the money, including keeping a watch on those who form part of the administration. And if her first report is to be the modus operandi, it is a good start. And notice what I said. It is a good start. We need to not only provide the information on what he's doing overtly, but we need to dig deeper to show what's behind the curtain. Listen to this, and then we'll take it on the other side.
To talk about how we are going to cover the second Trump administration. And let me repeat, nobody gets a free pass to operate without accountability, not the administration that just ended and not the one sworn in today. On this show, we have always focused on following the money. It's our thing. Well, the Trump administration is all about business and the mixing of money, power, and politics. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep following the money. In his final address as president, Joe Biden left Americans with a very serious word of caution.
An oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy.
That's a stark warning. An oligarchy, a small group of rich and powerful people with their own self-interests, often corrupt, could take control and run our government. Well, that made me think about who Donald Trump has appointed to his administration, and it's over a dozen billionaires. Then there's the biggest names in the tech world who had the best seats in the House at the inauguration today. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg. The number 1, 2, and 3 wealthiest people in the whole wide world. And here comes Donald John Trump, the most transactional president in modern history. He is in the White House for the next 4 years. And on many of those guys' top issues, he appears to not have a position or he's malleable. So that means we, all of us, need to pay attention to the decisions that are getting made. And that's what we're going to do. Look at the people making those decisions, why and how they're going to affect all of us. The question, is this White House for sale? Because this time around, it appears to be built to deliver for corporations and the wealthiest. Let's start with his cabinet, Commerce Secretary, the person who will lead the way on a key Trump promise, tariffs, what he calls the most beautiful word in the dictionary. Well, his nominee is Howard Lutnick, who's got no government experience, but he definitely knows business. CEO of the Wall Street investment firm Cantor Fitzgerald, a really big backer of Trump's tariffs plans, and an even bigger supporter of cryptocurrencies, especially the world's most traded one, Tether. Tether is also under investigation by the federal government, but according to the Wall Street Journal, Tether's owner also expects Lutnick will help with any issues the company might face with the government. If Lutnick is confirmed, he said he will step down as CEO and divest his interests so he can meet ethics rules. Well, we'll be watching. But it's not just who he's picked for his cabinet. It's also some key roles in the administration. You know, like the people who oversee Medicare, NASA, Social Security. How about who's going to lead the Securities and Exchange Commission? That's the agency in charge of regulating financial markets. Well, for that one, Trump has nominated a guy named Paul Atkins. He definitely has the credentials. He was a former commissioner for the SEC. When he was there, he showed a pro-business bent, which is okay, but pay closer attention, because in recent years, he's been a big advocate of, you guessed it, cryptocurrencies. That would be a huge change from the outgoing chair, Gary Gensler, who regularly fought with the industry. Many believed he was downright unfriendly to crypto, simply not open for business. But with Atkins, this is about as far as the pendulum can possibly swing to the other side. And crypto is happy, happy, happy. After Trump made the announcement, Bitcoin surged past 100,000. Donald Trump, no surprise, took credit, posting on social media, "You are welcome." And don't forget this one. Trump now has his own crypto exchange, World Liberty Financial. And just this weekend, in the last 3 days, he and incoming First Lady Melania Trump launched their own meme coin cryptocurrencies, which you will not be surprised, soared. That is another area we are going to watch. And how about this one? Lobbyists. Donald Trump highly criticized them in the past, saying leaders in Washington should not answer to them. Do you remember? Drain the swamp. Well, after winning, who was the first White House hire? His campaign manager and former lobbyist, Susie Wiles, to be his chief of staff. During the first Trump administration, the lobbying firm where she worked, Ballard Partners, they brought in more than $70 million in fees. And since her appointment this time around, it has reportedly signed up at least 28 new clients. And one of them is the crypto firm Ripple. Ripple gave $5 million of its cryptocurrency to the Trump inauguration, and they're also fighting a lawsuit from the SEC. There is so much enthusiasm from the crypto world that they hosted their own crypto ball to kick off the inauguration weekend. Now, some might say that's just how DC works. President Biden, he had all sorts of lobbyists in his administration or lobbyists advising him, former ones. But what I am trying to say is what is happening in this administration is massive. It is something we need to focus on. But finally, before we change focus, let us not forget the donors. Why are they there? Especially those huge tech executives I mentioned who are brazenly courting Trump. And boy, is it working. Elon Musk, of course, spent more than $250 million to help him get elected. And there are the $1 million donations for the inauguration from the likes of Amazon and Meta. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg even co-hosted the big reception tonight to celebrate the inauguration. And of course, Zuckerberg has a lot on the line. A possible federal antitrust lawsuit against Facebook could go to trial this year. Plus, he wants the U.S. government to help him fight attempts by foreign governments to regulate Meta. You can be sure we are going to keep a very close eye on what Zuckerberg gets for those donations. And as this second Trump administration takes shape, the American people, all of us, need to realize what exactly we are in for. More and more corporate dollars going into politics, and in return, those corporations getting unprecedented influence in the laws and regulations that favor their interests and maybe not ours. We must pay attention. And that's going to be our goal this year, to help all of us get better and smarter.
Again, if Stephanie Ruhle is right, if she does what she says her program will be doing, I hope the network allows her to do so, then it will be one small compartment of not just the narrative, but the holding of Donald Trump accountable for what we know he's going to do. Because, he can't change his stripes. He is who he is, a criminal at heart, a thug at heart, a thief at heart, a swindler at heart, a misogynist at heart. He's all those things. So all those facets of who he is, his administration has got to be covered under that dome.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number 1, subscribe to our channel. And number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.